resonating for you about generational divides and connections, and just what that triggers for you while you're listening.
Okay.
When you're ready, John.
Overgrown by Emma Durbin. Cast.
May, Jamaica Lachey.
Cosmo, played by me, David Haynes.
Ada, played by me, Diane Bunny Flakes.
Cameron, played by Frankie Deval Gonzalez.
Luz, played by Alexis Cisneros.
Voter A and technician, played by me, Jeremy Gaunt.
Alderman and voter B, Timothy Paul.
I'm John McKay, and I'll be reading your stage directions. First, a content advisory. You will encounter ageism, racism, ableism, sexism, discussions of miscarriage, self-harm, serial killers, access to birth control, and subtext about Roe v. Wade. Scene 1. Setting. Sunrise Park Elementary School. All 4 scene locations are shown on stage. The front, outside of the building. Quiet tree-lined street in a quieter neighborhood in Chicago with some bike racks and a bench. The hallway that leads from the building entrance to the gym and the main polling place, which is inside part of the school gym. May sits outside Sunrise Park Elementary School. It's 5 a.m. They're on their phone. Cosmo walks up.
Good morning.
Hi, so let me guess. Are you Luz?
No, I'm May.
You're in EI? That's fantastic.
Is it?
I thought we had a judge with the name Me and told my wife that would confuse us all day.
No, it's May, like the month. But some people's names are phonetically pronounced me. No one would think anything is wrong with you for saying somebody's name.
You are very smart. How old are you?
I'm in my 20s.
You're 20?
22.
Me, I am 73. Now, I know how many 60-year-old women you know, but boy, can they be brutal.
Why are you talking about 60-year-old women?
I can't do anything right. Even to make coffee, my wife has me weighing and all these scales. And hey, now she's telling me about this mud water tea stuff. Have you heard of mud water?
Probably.
It's true to the name, mud and water. At least that's what it's like to make it. I give that to her. She wants me to drink it too, but I got, what are you kids saying these days? Parameters, walls, boundaries. That could be it. You're smart. You're smart. Has anyone ever told you that? No, I think you're right. I have boundaries. I got my good French press hidden in the guest room. Swap the mud stuff out for a morning brew in my own cup. She can't smell the difference. Ada! Hello, it's good to see you now. Ada. She is 62, but she's a firecracker.
I'm not sure that's a contradiction you think it is.
Thank you so much for sharing my age with the world, Cosmo.
No, really, it's a compliment. Ada is an election judge legend. Ada's been working these polls here before I even started. What, it must be at least 20 years now.
Well, that's incredible.
You must be May.
Yes. And it's so great to meet you, Ada.
Now, Ada, you have to tell me how you knew how to pronounce her name like that.
My roommate in college was also a May. I think it's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Do you know who else is coming? Ada and I saw the names when we were picking up the keys. I'm not sure where that election coordinator was. We couldn't get a hold of him last night. Cameron, I think is his name. And our other judge is Luz.
How did you know to pronounce Luz and not May?
Have you seen either one of them?
Not yet. Is the building open?
See, May, as I said, a firecracker.
I don't know what age you are, but I feel like I'm still 40. Y'all coming?
We will follow you anywhere, Your Election Day Highness.
Ada goes to the door. It's unlocked. She enters the building. And Cosmo follows Ada. May rolls her eyes before following Ada and Cosmo. Scene 2. Inside of Ada
to get these poll booths unlatched. Ada, would you help me get this open?
I'll get the ballot box.
These legs are impossible. Ada, how did you do your legs?
I turned them, Cosmo.
The handbook. Where's my handbook?
May retrieves and references their election day handbook.
Which way?
Either way,
What does that do?
Good God.
you just need to twist it.
Cosmo, Ada, how do you do these security tag numbers?
I got the sheet on the table.
Where?
We can write them down, all down in 40 minutes once the people start coming in.
They documented all the tags during setup in the training video.
I need to look inside the case for the ballots.
Thanks for the help.
You try setting up a poll booth.
I don't have time.
We'll document the security tags when all the work is done.
We need to make sure that everything is done right, in order. Election fraud free.
You think Ada and I are trying to commit election fraud?
I don't know you.
We've been doing this for years.
I don't know who else had access to this box before today.
I can help you set up the computers if you want.
That is not what oh my God. No, the polling booths are fine.
Sir! Yes, sir!
Thank you. That was a joke, right?
I'm a Wi-Fi wizard. Is that what they call it? Genius? Something with apples?
I could use your help with this booth, Cosmo.
May, Ada, and Cosmo continue setting up. Lose the camera. Bike up to the elementary school. They dismount and go to lock their bikes.
See? Wasn't that a good idea?
Ask me again when we have to bike home at 10 o'clock tonight.
Oh, it won't be 10. The post closes at 7.
You have high expectations for a person who made us late to begin with.
It's 5:20 on a Tuesday morning. Anyone would be insane to get here at 5.
No, they'd be smart because showing up on time is the only guarantee that we get paid.
Oh, we're volunteering. No one cares about getting paid.
$230 means a lot to a lot of people. That's a month's worth of Sunday brunches or 30 days of lattes if you go to Starbucks every day.
I'm glad to know your allowance is going to good use.
It's not an allowance. I'm in college.
Oh.
We're talking about basic living expenses here.
Necessities like Starbucks, huh?
No, fuck Starbucks. I go to the local tea shop next to the ecology building.
Every day?
Only sometimes and as a special treat.
Oh.
What I'm trying to say is that $230 is a luxury to a lot of people. And it's nice to have a little luxury here and there.
Serving as an election judge isn't about luxury, Luce. It's about paying your dues to the community, ensuring that even our small local elections are fair and just.
Yeah, and in a failing two-party system.
Remember the rules?
The fact that the two-party system is a threat to our nation's democracy is not only fact, but
Luce.
I believe in voting. You believe in voting. But one of the reasons so many people don't vote is because they don't feel represented. Because they aren't. Because two, and I mean two, right skewing, and even if they weren't right skewing.
Have I ever told you about my favorite part about local election politics?
Dear God.
No. You are lucky your mother's not here.
Sorry, Dad. Can't we just go in?
No parties, just people. We are both here because we care. It doesn't matter whose team wins in any of today's races. What matters is that every single person who walks into that door today gets a say in the world that they want to live in. No politics today, Luce. It's just us. We're a team. Remember, kid?
Bet. You coming?
No. You go. I'm gonna head to the coffee shop on the corner and pick something up for the guys, make up for our tardiness.
Great. That's great.
Love you, sweetie.
You too, Dad.
Back inside. May has made a ton of progress. Ada, son, and Cosmo very well. Loose ends.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hi,
You must be loose. I'm May.
y'all are setting up for the election polling, right?
It's a work in progress. That's Cosmo.
And she's Ada.
They're also ladies.
Hello, Luz.
Hi, Luz. Now we're just missing our election coordinator.
Luce, I'm working on setting up the e-poll books. If you don't mind helping me out.
Sure, that sounds great.
May retrieves a case with 2 registration tablets from the election supply carrier.
I keep telling May I can help with the technology, but alas, Ada and I got these polling booths in working order.
And got the poll booths in working order.
How do the registration books work?
We have 2 tablets, and we're supposed to have one set up for new voter registration and the other for check-in.
Do we know which is which?
I don't think it matters. This is my first time doing this, so I could be wrong.
You seem like a natural.
We might not have enough of these booths. If only we had an election coordinator to call Election Central.
I can call if we
That's a
need them.
great idea. I'll get mine too. Do you know how we're supposed to connect the tablets to Wi-Fi?
I believe it's the same device that we're using to transmit from the ballot box. So you see here, we just need to plug these routers in and sync them with the network antenna. If we could use an extra set of hands on the setup, I have no idea what's happening with the ADA touchscreen.
We've got to get some of those signs up soon.
Do you know if it's their first time too?
Ada's been doing this for at least 2 decades. Cosmo, I'm not sure, but they do seem to know each other.
Wild. Okay. I think I got it.
6 to go, cups at 8.
Let me guess, the infamous Cameron.
This is he.
That looks great. Want to look the test? Yeah.
I see you bearing bribes and libations.
Infamous.
30 minutes late. That must be a record, my
Do
friend.
you still need a vote?
No, I did a mail-in.
Bet. What's your last name?
R-O-D, yes. That one right there.
I'm Cosmo, and that's Ada, May, and Luz.
Well, it's great to meet you all. I thought folks might want to pick me up to help us through the early start.
Cameron sets drinks down on the nearby table.
Well, that's a great idea, but we're through most of it already.
We still have so much to set up. If you wouldn't mind helping me with those polling booths.
Ada and I got them covered.
Oh, I wouldn't mind pitching in some extra muscle.
Let the man help us, Cosmo.
What I'm not too sure about is that pile in the corner. The election coordinator usually takes care of that.
That's the ADA wheelchair access booth. I couldn't figure it out and had to focus on the ballot box, so yes, please. Could you look at that?
Absolutely. May, right?
Right.
Cameron, it's nice to meet you.
You too. Thank you, truly, for the help.
What kind of coffee did you say you got for us, Cameron?
There are 4 dark roast lattes with whole milk, 1 oat milk latte just in case, and a vegan chai.
Cameron works on constructing the ADA wheelchair access booth.
Cosmo knows I love my whole milk creamer.
Mind if we take the oat milk?
Goes to select a cup and takes one big, long sip.
Only if you bring me back
That
some
is
of that.
delectable.
That.
Save one for me. Did you two take the vegan drinks?
More cow milk for us, Cosmo.
How could anyone have enough caffeine and calcium to get out of bed in the morning without drinking dairy?
Do May and Luz look like they struggle to get out of bed?
Too many kids are vegan these days.
Only 5% of the population is vegan or vegetarian, and it was the same percentage 50 years ago. Nothing's changed, except there are more humans in total.
So what do you do for work, Luz?
I'm at UFC working on a double major.
Very impressive.
What are you studying?
Women in gender studies and world religions. What do you do, Cosmo?
My wife and I own this ice cream shop down in Ukrainian village for the last 30 years. It's still operating, but now they call it Jenny's. Whole new flavors, new menus. They got that dairy oat stuff. You two would like it.
You owned a Jenny's?
No, someone else made my shop into a Jenny's. What I sold was homemade and 100 times better.
Cameron finishes the wheelchair booth setup.
Hey, May, how's this?
Incredible.
Cameron moves on to help Cosmo and Ada finish the full booth. He fixes Cosmo's lopsided station.
How do we turn on the poll booth lights?
You know what's on the side, Cosmo?
Yes, and they make the outlets impossible to find almost every time.
Ada takes over the poll booth lights and turns them all on. Cameron looks through the rest of the election day supplies. Cosmo pulls out various signs and starts posting them around the room. Ada picks up the phone.
Be careful with that thing.
I'll keep a tight watch, don't you worry.
Why does she need to be careful? What's dangerous about a cone?
Chicagoans love their dibs. Steal those cones every year so they can save their winter parking spots. We always got to keep an eye out.
Ada takes the cone and brings it outside into the front of the building. This cone marks the boundary of the campaign-free zone, and there's a sign on it that says so. Ada sighs and sits outside the polling place, sipping her coffee in peace.
Is this the touchscreen voting tablet?
I think so. I haven't had time to look for it yet.
We can set that thing up later. No one ever wants to use it in the morning crowd.
Well, it's part of the ADA requirements. Doesn't that seem important?
You think you have the time? Go ahead.
May and Lou seem to have the rest of it covered. Would you like to give me a hand?
Managers are now arranging ballots and forms for the registration and check-in tables. Outside, the alderman enters the zone with a box of donuts.
Do I smell donuts?
Oh, they're from the new bakery that uses potato. I think it's a Scandinavian recipe. They're delicious.
I can't believe you bought something other than Dunkin'.
Small businesses are vital to the economy.
Excuse me, I believe we are in a campaign-free zone.
Oh,
I was just teasing.
No, it's my new PR hire. She says I need to keep up the branding everywhere I go. Local jobs, local employees, local economy. That's what the voters care about.
The roads could use some fixing too, if you're taking feedback.
I'll tell you
well,
about our plan. For
What
that.
plan? There's holes. Get a truck, fill them.
But I can't.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but also, we're in a campaign-free zone.
Would you come and take a few steps to the left with me?
You think I can sway your vote?
God, no. I took care of my ballot ages ago.
Oh, that's what I thought. So, now I've got donuts to deliver.
Yes, that's right. We were wondering if you'd ever show up.
Well, it's barely 6 o'clock.
6:05.
Well, you're my first stop.
You're telling me there's others? We're not special?
Well, of course, you're special. You got the warmest, freshest donuts of the day.
You sure know how to make a woman blush.
They get colder by the second, Ada.
Right.
Inside, the polling place is all set up. Alderman and Ada are walking.
Look who the cat dragged in.
Good morning, Cosmo.
I'll be on ballot scanner duty.
Oh, Alderman Joe, it's great to see you.
Oh, Cameron, how's the wife and kid?
My little girl's back home with us after her first year of college.
Where's she going?
UFC for World Religions.
Impressive school. Not too far away. Oh, is the turnout all right?
We had 7 folks come in at 6 o'clock sharp. The commuter crowd. Smaller this year.
Oh, I wish voters would care as much about local politics as they do about presidents.
I saw a lot of people at early voting when I dropped off my mail-in. The line had to be at least 2 hours long.
You use a mail-in?
That's
I
from
didn't think I
downstate.
was going to
All
get
right,
to vote
you've been
all
there?
the way.
Wait, are you still
Only every Sunday morning, they're the best in their black age. I've never had a better donut in North Chicago.
I thought it'd be nice to have a change of pace to go local this year.
What do you usually get?
Duncan.
I don't think we can accept these.
Well, you know we can. I promise I'm not here to bribe you.
Does Election Central know you're here?
Every alderman comes out to thank their election poll workers.
I bring donuts every year, and so did my predecessor.
You couldn't bribe me if you wanted to. I already voted.
It's the official way for the city to say thanks. My assistant Allison will come out with Popeyes for lunch.
Ooh, I'm hungry just thinking about it.
These look delicious. Thank you, Joe.
It is our job to make sure this election is fair and just. We can't accept donuts from politicians.
Oh, is this your way of telling me I don't have your vote?
This isn't about me. It's about the voters.
It's our job to make sure the election happens. Chicago Board of Elections, poll watchers, and all these damn security tags are what keeps the election fair.
The voters aren't getting any donuts. You are. And you shouldn't be talking to voters about who is on the ballot in the first place.
Unless, I think, if they need voting assistance. But then we'd have to send both a Republican and a Democrat judge to make sure no one sways or influences the voter.
I thought this election wasn't supposed to be bipartisan.
It's mostly aldermen and circuit judges. But the Senate and representative votes are still Democrat versus Republican.
With a few libertarians, too, for the fun of it.
Oh, good God. What is the point of throwing away a vote like that?
Voting third party is not a throwaway vote. It's a vote for 3 parties and against 2. It's a voter for change.
It's also a great way to campaign for revolution without ever needing to deliver.
Careful with the politic talk.
Oh, so now you care about the rules.
Well, the donuts are my civic duty. It has nothing to do with campaigning or voter strategies.
We need change. That's all I'm saying. People respond to that.
Well, I've got to head out. But please, feel free to call my office with any lunch requests.
Whatever we want?
Well, within reason. And on the menu at Popeyes.
Got it. Thank you.
Who's?
What? It's Joe.
Don't be a stranger.
It isn't appropriate for us to eat these.
What are you going to eat then?
They told us to pack lunches in the training. I've got a whole setup.
You're going to need a pick-me-up long before lunch rolls around, my friend.
It's not ethical.
Aren't you the one who's friends with him?
That's different. That's not a bribe.
No voter is going to change their politics based on a box of donuts from a man they don't know.
They do know him. He's the incumbent on the ballot.
How about we don't tell anyone who got us the donuts? We're not supposed to be talking about the candidates anyways.
Let's just make it our secret.
Okay, but I'm not touching the donuts.
You don't have to. I'll get a knife to cut these up. Cover for me?
You got it, my man.
Cover for him doing what?
He was putting the ballots in the ballot sleeve to give it to the voters.
Ada grabs a donut to eat.
What do we ever do without him?
You will also have to number and initial the applications for the ballot.
No, I'm doing the applications. He was initialing the ballots.
And how will you live up to the task?
He was really helpful with the touchscreen. I'm sure we'll need him for something soon.
Things always settle down until we have to figure out how to register a voter. That will be your job, Cameron.
How's the donut, Ada?
Scrumptious.
You're not going to wait for Cosmo to cut them up?
What is life without pleasure?
I'm gonna go see if anyone needs help finding their way up here.
Is it just you and Cosmo coming back every year?
We had a few more election regulars, but not too many stuck around.
What's the deal with you and him?
What do you mean?
It seems like he walks alone.
He does not.
I think Ada does a great job at dealing with him.
Yeah, but he doesn't listen to you, does he?
I don't need him to. We only run into each other once every few months and at elections.
Have you heard him talk about his wife?
I'm not his wife.
He treats you the same. You can't honestly wash your hands clean of that.
Are you accusing me of having some part in his behavior?
He talks to you like you're his best friend. I think he
I
listen
think
if you
what
said
May
something
is
out
trying
loud.
to say is,
I'm not here to make friends. This is a long enough day as it is.
I think May is just worried about you.
You don't need to speak for me. I'm worried about all of us.
Cosmo's all talk. You don't need to worry. He's great with the voters.
And the alderman, Joe, you act so different around him.
He can't stand Cosmo, but please keep that to yourself.
I meant, how do you feel about the alderman?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ada, we saw you blush. You're blushing now.
I don't blush. You need to stop making things up.
Your face right now is like, it's not blushing.
He's a widower.
So?
It's inappropriate.
How is a crush on someone with a dead wife inappropriate?
It was only 3 years ago. I knew her. I know their entire family.
Who better than to help heal his heart?
You don't honestly think he could like me?
Who wouldn't?
Why not fuck around and find out?
What?
Ooh, just means shoot your shot.
I don't need you to speak for me either.
We've known each other forever. I wouldn't want to impose.
What made you decide to be an election judge?
The city told us they needed some younger folks to step up, probably the same that they said to you. And you know, that was the year Obama went to the Senate.
You were a fan already?
Chicagoans loved him. Lots of people in politics knew someone who knew him or had helped with the campaign, thought he had a bright future.
Do you work in politics? Did you?
God, no. I stick to my comfort zone. For me, all that Obama stuff was in hindsight. It was more, even if the president we want doesn't get in power, or some years, even if there isn't a president we want in power, all the smaller offices make a difference and count for something. The smaller the politician, the more radical they're allowed to be. I keep doing this year after year because I saw local elections have power to shape the politics of the entire nation.
And you wouldn't say similarly that you have seen how politics of our own hearts can help heal the sorrow of another?
Well, that's a stretch I never saw coming.
May's right. My parents had a miscarriage a few years ago and went into a dark place until they met another couple who had the same experience.
That's dark.
I'm not exactly a widow myself.
Yeah, but you're old.
Older.
Excuse me.
Sorry, older.
I'm younger than you think. Darn it, Cosmo.
Darn what?
Look, we just can't get anything done without you.
Can't initial ballots without me?
You know they don't teach young people cursive anymore, don't you?
I know cursive.
I know.
Well, now you can eat some donuts.
Ada's already got that taken care of.
Did you find a knife?
She just dove right in.
Okay, well, the rest of us will be sharing.
There's more than enough to go around.
But there is not enough of each flavor. You don't know what you're missing out on until you try every flavor.
You're telling me you're going to cut every donut into 5 pieces.
3. Cameron said he's not interested, and you already had your fair share.
There's more than enough for 2 donuts for every person. 3 if we are assuming that Cameron won't be swayed.
You took all of one flavor. There has to be a donut tax for that.
Is there no reward for Ada being an election judge? Icon, superstar. What did you call her?
A legend.
Cosmo cuts up all the donuts.
They're all delicious. Cosmo, you're thinking too much about it.
Ladies, do you want some?
Oh, no thanks.
Cosmo takes a couple of donut corners, licks his fingers, gets a napkin, and sits down at the ballot station. May gets up to take a closer look at the donuts.
Did you wash your hands before cutting all these?
I haven't played outside today.
What?
He's joking.
I'm germ-free.
Yeah, but did you?
May, could you bring me some of the strawberry-looking ones and a chocolate?
Sure.
May makes the delivery.
Keep breathing, kiddo. The chocolate is delicious.
I am breathing.
Your face tells me something different.
Fine.
May cautiously picks up a donut, discreetly blows it.
Oh my God. I haven't tried that flavor before. This is incredible.
What did I tell you?
Yeah, it's worth it.
And now you know, don't be afraid to be the first to go for the donut box.
You're ridiculous.
And full of donuts.
I told you, Ada's a sharp hitter. Knocks my socks off.
Yeah, I can't knock your socks off if you forget to put them on.
It's summer. I can't pull off socks and sandals like you do, Ada.
Did we figure out what was happening with the bleed through?
What happened with the bleed through?
Our first few early morning voters had to redo their votes. The Sharpie was bleeding through.
It doesn't matter if the Sharpie bleeds through. The front and back sides are staggered. That's not a problem.
The scanner rejected them.
How is that possible?
The ink bled through.
That never happens.
I assured all those people that the big Sharpies would be okay. It's been a long time since I put my foul foot in my mouth so badly.
It was the 2 separate pages on top of each other. The first bled through to the second layer.
That's what the privacy sleeves are for.
The privacy sleeves are for privacy.
They can also act as a barrier.
When was the last time we had an election with 2 ballots together?
Maybe 8 years ago. But the people who use the privacy sleeves today didn't have any problem.
We can't make the instructions too complicated.
It's not too complicated to just use the sleeve.
But what if part of their ballot stick out and overlap? What if they don't understand that they need to keep the 2 ballots separate? And they only use the envelope as privacy when they've already voted?
People here are smarter than you think.
I'm not questioning the voters' intelligence. I'm questioning our ability to not confuse them.
They did seem confused.
We can't keep making people redo their ballots.
I think we got it sorted.
You think?
We'll tell them to keep the pages separated, but they don't need to worry about the ink bleeding as long as they don't start doodling on the side.
When has someone ever doodled on the side?
That's exactly what May said to do.
2013.
Sounds like a plan.
You good?
I'm going to see where Cameron went.
Can you take some of the signs to help point folks up here?
Absolutely. Tay,
I got the tape. Took it out of the ESC for those accessibility and language signs.
Cosmo hands me the tape.
Thanks.
He grabs another donut, half or two, and leaves. May takes up some signs in the hallway as they said they would, simultaneously munching on their donuts. Cameron is in the hall, calling someone. It doesn't go through.
And how does our crumbling democracy taste?
If you think that donuts are the biggest threat to our democracy, you've missed the point entirely.
I will not be bribed.
You're missing out. My friend in a different ward just texted me that the alderman brought them dumplings.
Stan's is better.
Stan loves cops.
What's wrong with cops?
This death of the free world is truly to die for. Come on, I'm kidding.
May exits the hallway and put up more signs outside.
Oh my gosh, this sun. I didn't know it would be so nice outside.
Cameron starts to dial.
Got somewhere to be? Mr. Democracy is crumbling.
It's work. I wouldn't if it weren't important.
Sure, you sound really committed.
My assistant texted me something we were planning. It's urgent, but she isn't picking up.
Maybe they fixed it.
It doesn't really work like that. Oh, Charlene, hi. Hello. What do you think? No, I know. I told you the whole point is to work on connecting with her. It'll be good for all of us. Really? Oh, what do you think? No, lay it on me.
Back inside, Ada, Luz, and Cosmo are working together.
¿Tú no hablas español?
Claro que lo hablo conversacional. Yo no hablo de política.
I didn't realize I would be the only bilingual judge.
I think Cameron is signed up as one too.
I spent a couple of years traveling around España after college. The wife and I still go to Mallorca every Christmas. I think everyone should travel. Have you ever been to Spain, Luz? Oh, it's the kind of place you never forget. I think we all need to eat more donuts. Everyone's blood sugar seems low. I need to look for those bilingual tags for both of us when Cameron gets back.
Cosmo searches through and reorganizes the question supply area.
Do you mind if I sit up here for a registration?
He didn't give me a chance to try talking to that voter. I could have easily gotten her through registration if you weren't breathing down my neck.
Do you think Cameron might help next time?
My dad's the same. I might be truly fluent now if he didn't always stop and correct over me.
Who's your... Oh, Luz, wait. Is Cameron your father?
Yeah, isn't it obvious?
You walked in separately, barely said a word to each other. I can't believe I missed it. The evidence was so clear.
It was his idea to buy everyone coffee.
I found the Spanish language applications for Ballot.
You're not close to your father?
Oh, no. My grandson's going through that phase. He's 16, rebelling from his parents. They want him to spend a few weeks with me, think I can whip him into shape. But I'm telling you, he's so social. He wants to do everything his friends do. He gets into all the same riffraff.
What kind of riffraff?
He's asking his parents to let him smoke marijuana.
You know, that's a racial slur.
Riffraff?
No,
Marijuana. He called it that, not me.
when the government first started criminalizing it, they wanted a Spanish-sounding word to make it sound like it was associated with folks from Mexico and Latin America. Lots of white people were smoking it back then too, but none of them got arrested for it.
Well, maybe they should have been arrested too. This is how we got ourselves into this mess with all of these Mary Jane stores popping up on every corner. Dispensaries. They're like the new Starbucks. I don't know how I'm going to do any better up here than his parents do down in Colorado.
Hey, at least you know it's not laced at a dispensary. It's not like it's a real drug. Like, sure, yes, it's a drug, but no one's died from it. It's leagues safer than alcohol. Are you aware of the negative implications of steering kids away from safe alternatives to alcohol?
Implications? Where did you read that?
There was a study.
On an infographic posted in a dispensary?
It had sources.
A drug is a drug is a drug.
How many people has alcohol killed? How many people has weed killed?
It's illegal in over 30 states.
Because of racism. Because they figured out how to use coded
These will
language.
come in handy, and here's the access key to throw this touch screen.
You can tell him that weed is disgusting here compared to what they grow out in Colorado. At least maybe that'll stop him while he's on your watch.
Life is not about avoiding responsibility.
I am responsible.
You're doing a lot of great work today, I don't doubt it, but if you're helping make someone heal, to help someone through something, you can't claim progress if you're only delay the suffering.
You can call yourself lucky that he's coming to stay with you and be grateful it's still
Hold
better
up,
than
hold
alcohol.
Lucky, me? No, he's the one that's got a nice air-conditioned place to stay in America's best city for the summer.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean...
Do you think your own grandma would think she's lucky?
My grandma and I don't really see eye to eye.
No kidding. You need to find a way to fix that. Call yourself lucky if she's still in your life, not the other way around.
We really need to organize all this transmission equipment before the end of the day.
Do you smoke it?
Earlier the better, while we still have the energy.
I tried it over spring break in Portland.
And?
It was horrible. But my friends kept telling me it was a mistake to do edibles first. I just wanted to be kind to my lungs.
See? Maybe I'll just tell him that.
He's going to do what he wants to do. But young people are smarter than you think they are. You should just trust him to make an informed decision.
I am not going to let some hippie hash get in the way of his future.
Here are those registration signs I was looking for.
Look, Luz, it may feel funky now, but your family won't be around for forever. You can go off, be independent, but don't be surprised when everybody else starts growing in a different direction too. You don't see eye to eye, you got to share those parts of yourself before it's too late. I've been wearing this pendant since my mother died 15 years ago, but she gave it to me when I first left home to go to college. I never realized how much I needed her until after she was gone. My mother, her mother, my grandmother, got the pendant on a trip to Turkey in the 1950s. Para Grisha Yavuz, this too shall pass. The good, the bad, and the things that are both. How long have you been in this neighborhood?
My parents moved here a few years ago to consult for some big court case.
I went to elementary school here. Do you know how many other black kids were in my grade? One. And that was my sister.
That must have sucked.
I went off to college out of state, came back, and worked around the city. I was a nurse down at Cook County Jail for a bit, but I couldn't take it. Moved back up here.
What happened?
You know, they prevent as much crime as they create trauma. I had one young man right before he just wanted to take control. It broke my heart and scared me half to death. Then I came up here, retired, and the whole place had changed. The school looks the same. The streets just have a few more holes to fill in. The trees turn the same robust green every summer. But now when I come back to tutor and volunteer at the library, at least half the kids I tutor look like me.
That must feel good.
I'm so jealous of the little bastards. How I was teased, and how my sister did at least half that teasing.
Is she still around?
How old do I look?
I meant in Chicago.
Oh, yeah, lives right under me. This too shall pass.
Ladies outside waiting. They see voter aid approaching. Cameron is on the phone, emailing you back.
Is this the election place?
You bet it is.
You got any outdoor stations I can get set up at?
Not at the moment. Why do you ask?
My doctor said I should avoid going inside public spaces. I'm on chemo.
If you want to sit down at this bench, I can see.
Especially schools, they said. Schools are the worst. That and prisons, but I don't think I'll end up there anytime soon. Then again, they said this, that's what I said about schools.
Cameron,
Yeah?
we need your help.
One second, I need to send this email.
Cameron and I can bring you a ballot out for you. Can bring a ballot out for you to vote right here.
You can do that?
Yes, we just need 2 judges, one from each party, and that's both of us.
We're happy to help.
This is so wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay, we're going to bring out some forms for you to fill out with your ballot. Usually you'd have to fill out them first, but if you just give us your name, we can find you in the system and process your application for the ballot.
I'm already registered. Do I really have to apply for...
It's just a short form to record that you voted. You don't need ID or anything. We just match your signature. It's all in the system.
Neil Hainsley.
Fantastic. Do you know if you're in the right precinct?
33?
That's the one. We'll be right back. Thank you, Neil.
May and Cameron head back inside together. Cameron stops out of earshot from the voter.
Are you sure we can do this? What about when we have to cast the ballot?
If we do it together as a Republican Democrat and don't interfere, it's all fine.
How do you know my party?
You've got that little name tag. Same here.
You're a Dem?
More a raging anti-imperialist. But sure. I vote Democrat. You got a problem with that?
No. Maybe we could learn something from each other. That's the beauty of this whole day, isn't it?
I thought we weren't supposed to talk about politics.
Oh, I'm sure we can talk about things not on the ballot.
Like the price we're selling Lake Michigan water to Nestle, or lead in our pipes, or the rising...
The water commissioner is on the ballot.
Oh. Huh. There's a lot of water here.
You don't need to tell me about climate change. I've seen it firsthand.
But you're a Republican.
There are a lot of us that care about things like the environment and humanitarian issues.
And that's not an oxymoron.
You've got a lot of passionate opinions. You remind me of someone I know.
In a good way?
It's nice to see someone like you so sure of yourself. It gives me hope that she'll get there too.
Even if she has a different worldview.
This is a democracy. It's supposed to thrive on differences in opinions. At least that's what her mother says.
It's easier in theory than in practice.
Oh no, in practice we're fucked.
Not if we have something to do about it.
May gestures to the ballot and grins. They both go inside through the hall. Cosmo is still sifting through the ESC.
I know I'm the key judge, but we gotta have both a Republican and a Democrat bring down the ballots to Election Central after the polls close.
I'm going with you. I always go with you.
But we really need someone with a car. You don't think May drives, do you? I have to ask when May gets back. I love seeing all these young...
May and Cameron enter and approach Ed and Lewis. It's a collection at the check-in registration table.
And the prodigal children have returned.
Hey, Luz, come look.
What?
We've got an immunocompromised voter outside.
What? Why did you say it like they're an animal at the zoo?
I thought you might be excited to help him.
Isn't that your job as the coordinator?
You told me you care about that kind of thing.
They're not a thing, they're a person.
I don't think Cameron meant it the way you heard it, Luz.
Yeah, I'm just trying to include you.
We've been really busy in here.
Well, they requested to vote outside, away from the crowd.
Well, there's not much of a crowd at the moment.
The doctor told them not to go inside to schools or crowded. Well,
We already told him we'd bring his ballot outside. You can take over for me if you want, Luz.
Why would I do that?
Because I think you'd have a good time.
trying to pawn me off to another drug so soon, Cameron?
I thought you both
You
would
should
be able
do it. I wouldn't want to get in the way of your fun.
So, can we help from here?
Well, we need an application for ballot, a Sharpie, a privacy screen, and both ballots.
You can take a privacy sleeve and a marker from the stack.
And we gotta fill out a special form for this. What was that one?
If you mean Form 1A, I got that right here.
Sweet.
And here are the ballots and an application.
What's the voter's name?
Neil something.
Good job, Cam.
Hainsley. Neil Hainsley.
Found him.
You mind filling out the top a bit of that form and bring it back to you once they fill out their portion?
You betcha.
Luz copies a few things from the tablet screen to the application for ballot. She hands the paper back to May.
You have to take the ballot and feed it into the scanner together.
Got it.
And don't forget an I voted sticker.
Luz hands May a sticker.
Bet. Let's do this.
May and Cameron
was in the training. You did take the training, didn't you?
Of course, you have to, but it's not in the handbook.
It was in the training. Trust me.
Tell me what I need to do.
Okay. First, we'll need you to fill out this form.
May hands the voter an application for ballot.
What was that call about?
It wasn't anything to do with you.
No kidding.
Some last minute information just came up on a case.
Oh, you're a lawyer?
You could say that.
How does this look?
Perfect. I'm just going to check this box, initial here, and you're all set.
Here's your ballot. It's 2 pages, 2 sides each.
Oh, will the Sharpie bleed through?
Sort of. But it's staggered on back, front and back, so it doesn't matter.
How comforting.
As long as you don't keep the 2 pages on top of each other, they will bleed through the next sheet, and that is the problem.
Okay, pages separate. How will I know if I messed it up?
The ballot will tell us if there are any misprints. It's good at catching those things, and if it does, we'll just come back to you so we can fix it.
Okay.
Most people don't like lawyers, just in it for the money.
I do a lot of pro bono work.
Okay, I see. You're a good do-gooder.
Is it okay if I look at my notes? I wrote a bunch down before I left, but it's so hard to remember them all.
You can look at whatever you want. As long as you don't pull out a Trump hat or a campaign flyer, you're fine.
I didn't think this was presidential.
Bad example, sorry. Your phone is a fair game, too.
Really? I can use my phone?
You bet.
It's not like that in Washington. Did you ever do the one with the boots where you poke the pen in, kind of like whack-a-mole?
That sounds awesome. No, I haven't.
Times really have changed.
I've only ever voted in the Chicago area. I wouldn't know.
That was a little judgmental.
What?
Trump can be an asshole sometimes, but that's not all he or his voters.
Sometimes. Okay, Cameron, I'm not sure that a conversation about Donald Trump is going to be a good way to prove that you care about humanitarian.
He's a divisive figurehead. That's my point.
May pulls out their vape from earlier, takes a few drags.
What I meant to say was maybe that was a little too political of a comment for an election judge to say to a voter.
They're clearly a Democrat.
You don't know that.
Okay, fine. Heard.
You know, most people think smoking gives you lung cancer.
This is a vape, so.
So it's new. There's no research. Lung cancer.
At least it's not all mixed up with all those chemicals in cigarettes.
What's the chemical that makes it taste like Fruit Loops called?
None of your beeswax.
Fair.
You want some?
No, can't. I had to quit. The nicotine part, I mean.
Impressive.
May stashes the vape back in their pocket.
So you grew up in the city?
My mom did, in Oak Park. But I was born and raised in Colorado. I moved back up here for college in Evanston.
Oh, that's what the kids are calling it these days?
Calling what?
Well, I went to New Haven.
What's that?
Yale.
Oh, yeah. Shit, that's impressive.
Says the smarty pants Northwestern graduate, huh?
Yes, but no. I went to Evanston Community College.
Oh, that sounds like a good school too.
I'm kidding.
Good got me too.
That's really rude. My mom went there.
No, I didn't mean to insult you.
No. My mom says it wasn't a great school, but it was free. There are some really good community colleges out there. Don't knock a free education before you try it.
Too late for that.
This summer is my first time living in the city proper.
I'd give anything to keep my daughter in the city close to me.
That's so sweet. What grade is it?
I think I'm all set.
You think?
I skipped a couple of bubbles. Is that okay?
Well, there isn't any stopping you. If you did that on purpose, it is your ballot.
Well, I'll get a notification from the scanner that there are some empty votes. But if you are okay with that, we can cast your ballot anyways.
Sounds good to me.
Just wait around here, and we'll come back to confirm your vote was cast.
Thank you so much for all your help.
It was our pleasure.
Me and Cameron leave voters to bring the ballot inside.
It was our pleasure.
What?
You enjoyed that? Democracy is serious. We're not supposed to have fun here. Serious, Cameron.
Okay, Miss Democracy.
We're the guardians of the, what was the word you used? Free world?
That's what you call it.
The freedom of the free world that's never actually been free is upon us, Cameron.
That makes no sense.
We better hold on for our dear life.
May clutches the ballot for dear life.
occurred to me. Cameron isn't a judge. He hasn't sworn in.
Are you kidding me?
What is he then?
Our fair election coordinator. You were supposed to go outside with one Democrat and one Republican judge, someone who swore in.
Did any of us swear in?
It's on one of the forms I just put on the table. We can all sign it later.
Can't Cameron just sign that then, like the rest of us?
If he did, he'd have to take a significant cut to his pay. His job is different.
He was 30 minutes late.
I would be a coordinator myself if I thought it was worth all the hassle of technology. But it is twice the dough.
Is there another way?
I thought you said this wasn't about money.
I don't want to get in trouble for switching jobs on duty.
I'll cast the ballot with May and then come out and make sure none of y'all did anything fishy.
All was above board.
We just need to ensure that. Due diligence. You get that, Cameron.
Absolutely do.
Cosmo walks over to take the ballot from May and Cameron.
What happened to this ballot?
Oh, shit.
Democracy. Democracy happened.
Dear God.
Cosmo inserts the first page into the scanner. Success. The ballot scanner renews.
Good sign so far.
Cosmo inserts the second page. Error message. Beep-on.
Oh no, we got an error. Let's see. Empty votes. Would you still like to cast ballot? Yes or no?
Thank God for no bleed through on this one.
May gave him good instructions.
We had some mad voters when you two were outside, running late on their lunch break, had to redo their votes, you know, the whole deal.
What about the plan?
Cosmo's still working out the kinks.
Looks like we'll have to spoil the ballot and bring what's his name a new one.
No. They said it's okay to cast it like that. They left some blank spots on purpose.
I can confirm.
We should check with the second judge.
Cosmo, you don't need to make extra work. Submit the ballot and go out and talk to the voter after. You can burn every ballot in the ballot box and call back every voter in those applications to recast their vote if you think we lied.
No need to go that far.
No, there isn't.
Cosmo submits the ballot. Success. The ballot scanner renews.
Let's go outside.
Cosmo and May exit. Cameron's phone rings and he also slips out in the opposite direction. May and Cosmo walk out to the voter who's still waiting. Cosmo hands the voter an I voted sticker.
Congratulations, young man. You have successfully voted.
Thanks. I already got a sticker.
How'd you swing that?
Where'd that other guy go?
He wasn't technically authorized to help you vote. He's just a coordinator, not a judge like me and May.
But my vote still went through.
I just need to make sure May didn't influence you one way or another.
I voted all on my own.
No one told you to vote for or discussed any of the candidates?
No. Well, I mean, they did say I couldn't wear a Trump hat.
Were you?
No.
Good. No campaigning in the campaign-free zone.
But he wasn't on the ballot, so I wouldn't have voted
Campaign-free zone.
for him. Okay.
And you wanted to leave those judge votes empty.
I left a few blank.
Well, everything checks out. You're good to go.
Have a good afternoon. Thank you for doing all this.
You're good at what you do. Thanks. I ordered some food that's almost here. Gotta wait for it.
You didn't get anything for the rest of us?
It's gluten-free.
Better that way then. You young people are really something. You know that? I just wish
I'll see you back in.
Cosmo leaves May alone. May sighs, pulls out another vape. They go back into the building, but pivot. They find a cozy alcove to themselves on Luce. Luce is looking at their phone as they enter and walk straight into May.
I can't believe you.
Hi.
Sorry, I thought you were my dad.
Just me.
I'm sorry. Are you okay?
I'm better now.
Good.
Do you often trip over people in dark hallways looking for your father?
Sorry, I was mad. You texted me about lunch.
Mad about lunch?
It's a long story.
You want some? It's cherry cola.
I don't do tobacco.
It's the only thing getting me through today.
It's tempting with Cosmo out there. I can viscerally feel his spit on my body from him standing too close while going on and on.
I'd rather die than have to hear Cosmo say another word about whatever the fuck he's got going on about.
Literally or figuratively?
Figuratively. But literally, I would love to take a knife and peel my skin off all Ed Gein style. He seems to shut up when Cameron's around.
It's like he needed another man to take care of dominating the space so he could relax.
God forbid we exist in peaceful silence.
God forbid.
What a daddy, though.
What?
Cameron, politics are a little messy, but totally dip vibes.
What?
Daddy, I'd like to fuck.
Are you trying to make me vomit? Kill me now.
You don't agree?
Cameron is my dad. You know he's my dad.
Oh, shit.
That's so fucking gross.
That's so fucked up. You're fucking right. You're fucking right.
Excuse me while I go exercise myself from this multiverse.
Oh, I thought you meant your dad was like coming to deliver you lunch or something. That's your father?
Yeah.
Shit. Why don't you call him dad? I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
I just meant it's nice to have a grown-ass adult around here, like competent. I wouldn't actually, you know. I'm grateful for both of you, really. Wouldn't survive this day without you.
Yeah, you two have been very buddy-buddy.
I said both of you.
What about Ada?
Cosmo and Ada don't know what the fuck's going on they're doing, and I don't care how many years they've been judges before. I might as well be alone without you and Cameron. But worse, because there'd be no one to mitigate Cosmo's incessant stream of conscious grammar.
Cosmo might be infuriating, but you should give Ada some credit. And I'd be careful around my dad.
What do you mean?
Don't be surprised by his hidden agenda.
Why'd you come here together?
He thought it'd be a good father-daughter bonding experience. He's very passionate about his politics. At least he's not against helping people vote.
So you're not really a Republican?
What do you think? He came with me when I first registered last year. He knows I'm a bit liberal, but I don't think he understands how deeply I disagree with him.
So why don't you talk to him about it?
There are rules against us talking about politics while we're here.
And at home?
Have you met him?
He seems like he'd be understanding.
You only think that because you want to dilf him.
First off, you don't dilf a person. And second off, that was a dope. You've both got great genes, but that doesn't mean...
Oh, really?
What I'm trying to say is, why not stand up for yourself? If his views contradict yours, why not share where you're coming from? He's had his whole life to teach you about how he sees the world. Now it's the time for you to do the same for him. The least you can do is listen.
I cannot afford that kind of risk.
What do you mean?
I'm not interested in opening up to Cameron. Not when he clearly would rather spend the day talking to complete strangers than his own kid. I want to get through this shitty day and just be done with it. I don't need that kind of relationship with him.
What kind?
I don't know. The kind where if it goes poorly, where does that leave me? I still have to live with him and my mom for the rest of the summer, and they're helping me pay for all sorts of college stuff. And, best case scenario, he's understanding now, and I have to visit and spend time with him.
What does your mom think?
I think she's secretly the most radical anti-fascist I know. But she'd rather stay with Cameron than make space for herself to be free. And I could never get her to really open up either.
I would not want to be in her shoes.
That's a bold statement to make about someone you've never met.
Don't tell me you'd stay in a marriage like that.
She's my mom, not yours. I don't think she'd do well on her own. She wants to feel loved. I don't think she could handle the instability of a divorce at this time in her life.
So you do the same.
I'm not saying that.
Then what are you saying then?
She hasn't had a real job in over 20 years, unless you count her pro bono assistant work at my dad's office.
Oh shit, I get it now.
She has no money of her own, no career of her own. I'd never be in a marriage like that in the first place. I don't ever plan to fall in love with someone who treats me like my opinions don't count because of my gender or how I present.
Do you think she planned that going in? You need to tell your mom how you feel.
I just told you why I can't.
Nothing is guaranteed. One day, 20, 30 years from now, you'll find a person. You'll get married and
You don't think
it's
I'm gonna
all
fall
great.
in love until I'm 50?
I'm just spitballing here. Vague, distant future.
I'm offended.
This person will be wonderful, and you'll have the same opinions about
about the world and whatnot until one day shit changes. Or you learn something new about them.
Or her.
Or you learn something new about them. Maybe you find out that despite their supposedly progressive politics, they're one of those people who thinks that banning women for wearing hijabs is super feminist. Or maybe it's on their bucket list to go skydiving with the love of their life. But you don't know what you can do with what you do without them. So now all of a sudden, even though you're like you rip your eyeballs out, spend 67 hours on a cross-country Amtrak instead of 3 hours on a Delta flight, terrified of heights, you find yourself in a helicopter, 1 million or something feet in the air with a girl who you don't know if you even like anymore, about to jump out of a plane and free fall for what feels like an hour before she even thinks about pulling the parachute tab, and you had it.
Are you okay?
Sorry, I'm not good at this.
What happened?
What do you mean?
Did you jump out of the plane with her?
What plane? I wasn't. That was theoretical.
I thought it sounded like... I'm sorry for misunderstanding.
My point is, you have to share yourself with the people who matter. Because if you don't do it now with your parents, people who, from what I can see today, really do love you and want to connect with you, will you ever be able to say the things that are closest to your heart? We're always changing and growing, and if you don't share that change, you are bound to lose out on so much. Not to mention that the world is seriously fucked in politics, worldviews, that which you hold tender in your heart is almost always a matter of life or death.
Who's to say we'll change?
All that you touch, you change. All that you change changes you. The only truth lasting is change.
What the fuck does that mean?
Octavia Butler?
I don't know her.
Oh, you have to repair Will of the Sower. You love it?
I meant about my parents. What did you mean?
It sounds like all Cameron and your mom want us to understand you.
What do you know about my mom? And how do you explain him spending the last 3 hours outside and flirting with some college student? No offense.
Cameron spent most of the morning on the phone with your mom, strategizing about how to rebuild your relationship. And the whole time he was talking to me, it seems like he was practicing what he might be like to just be a little more open-minded for you.
I told you, he has hidden agendas.
But you meant something else.
Can I ask you a question?
Shoot.
Why'd you sign up to work today?
God has changed.
Is that more of the book?
Genius. I'm telling you, trust and change.
You sound like Ada.
Do I?
This too shall pass and all.
Is that Lord of the Rings?
Ew. You're avoiding my question.
I signed up for this because I could use the cash, and I heard they needed more young people.
It seems like they need more people in general.
Yeah, but do they really need more cosmos?
Why did you really come?
I needed to jump out of a plane on my own.
What?
I chickened out. I did it with her, skydiving.
Seriously?
Yeah, you're right.
How was it?
The absolute most horrible experience of my life. But the worst part was I was disingenuous. I should have done it, but on my own. For myself. Not for someone else. Not because I was terrified about being difficult. I came here because I needed to jump out of the plane for myself. To be brave. Because there is something I didn't say. So many things I didn't say. And I didn't realize how big all those tiny things were. Not until it was too late. And I was literally smacked in the face by my own vomit.
Shit.
Yep.
So you broke up then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that. For sharing. For what it's worth, I think you are really brave already.
You should probably head back in.
No. Ugh. can't believe it's only 1:30. We have 5 hours to go before we can even think about packing up.
We don't have to go back.
But we should. We really should. And there's probably food waiting for us.
Let's hope.
Ada and Cosmo are manning the election on their own. Cameron walks in. He's got a giant bag of Popeyes.
Look what I found!
Ah, that smells delicious.
The alderman didn't want to say hi?
It was his secretary. He said even though their office got busy today, they will always make their election workers a priority.
You changed your mind about eating food from the alderman?
The stomach wants what the stomach wants.
See, Cosmo?
Isn't that sweet?
I'm already salivating. Pass me a box.
Cameron distributes boxes to Ada and Cosmo, takes one for himself, and leaves the last two in the bag.
Where'd Luz go?
You didn't tell us she was your daughter.
Oh, it seemed implied.
She's got a bit of a firebrand personality.
You think?
She's got a head on her shoulders, still figuring out how to use it, but she's also very smart.
She disappeared on me.
She told Cosmo and I you sent her a text about some food.
Oh, good. I didn't mean that. Well, you know, I was hoping to spend some real time with her.
She'll come back around.
I mean, it took her months to start speaking to me after she left for college last fall. We fought so much about where she'd go. She still feels distant.
Yeah, she was very present with me.
You've got a good kid. You've got a good kid, Cameron.
Oh, I know she is.
Speaking of, a little birdie told me that you are also fluent in Spanish.
Sí.
We both need to wear these bilingual judge pins.
Oh, come on. ¿Dónde habla español?
I've got a grandkid adopted from Guatemala, but I first learned on España.
Oh, no kidding. You know, my parents were both born in Spain. We used to travel to visit mi tío, mi abuelos every Christmas until I moved out.
What region?
Toledo, just outside of Madrid.
No way. I did the whole Camino de Santiago in my 20s. That part of the country has to be one of the most beautiful places I've seen in my life.
Did the Popeyes make it in here yet?
What happened to the food you ordered?
I finished already. What do we got?
Well, there are 2 extra boxes in the bag that we saved for you both.
Cameron's phone pings.
That's weird. Did anyone else get a message from the Chicago Board of Elections?
And where would that be?
It's a text.
Nope.
What does it say?
Attention election coordinator. Anyone who comes to bring you new thin tip Sharpies or exchange Sharpies is impersonating an election official. Interferences with elections of any size will not be tolerated. Please report any such incidents to the election central immediately.
Not the Sharpie thing again.
That's weird, right?
It'll work itself out.
How many voters have we had so far?
Let me check here. 161. No, wait. With that provisional ballot, we should have 162.
How many do you think we'll get by the end of the night?
At this rate, with 5-ish hours left, maybe 198?
That little?
I think 250.
Are we taking bets?
You're forgetting the after work rush. I was imagining 300.
275.
265.
What do you get if you win?
Whoever wins can take the box of donuts home.
Hey,
Yes, Miss Democracy.
why did you say that Luz is your kid?
Well, I didn't realize you didn't know.
You don't exactly look alike. You didn't come in together. You don't have anything in common, except that somehow you both are walking oxymorons. Registered Republicans and also the only decent people here.
That's a lot of judgment packed into one sentence. What?
You're the one who said Luz. Luz of all people isn't confident, isn't sure of herself. You're the one judging your daughter to a standard you can't uphold for yourself.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
You think Luz isn't brave? You're not brave. You planned this whole day to spend with your kid, to reconnect, get to know each other, and you hiding outside with me.
Look, I thought she wanted some space. I thought I could learn about her from you.
From me? Why not try learning something from the source for a change?
Is that true?
Is what true?
You don't think I'm brave?
No, of course I do. You're always out there doing things.
Like what?
You have always been so passionate.
About what?
You know, rights and stuff.
As something about myself. Anything at all. This is your moment. Be brave, Dad. Come on.
Okay.
Okay?
Are you making friends at school?
Dad!
What? I don't get it.
No, clearly you do not. Even my dad, good God, is better than that.
And I thank him, God, every day that my daughter isn't a judgmental hypocrite like you.
Another voter, B, off stage, finishes filling out their ballot and walks on stage toward Cosmo, who stands at the ballot scanner.
Okay, I just need to, no, you can just keep that inside the privacy sleeve. I need to initial here and here, and you're all set. Just go one at a time.
The voter inserts the first ballot into the scanner. Error message. Beep on.
What did I do?
Don't worry, it happens. You only need to be gentle. Let it take the ballot from you. Suck it up. It'll work out.
Okay.
The voter tries again. The ballot is rejected. Error message. Beep on. Beep on. Beep on.
Okay, let's look here. Okay. Clear paper jam. Call Election Central for assistance. Okay, that's not good. Cameron, can you get on the phone with the big guys?
I'm on it.
Can I still vote?
It's a provisional ballot, right?
No, I got this. I need an orange seal, the seal accountability form, and the election handbook.
May brings Cosmo the requested materials.
Can you fix it?
We'll get someone out here, but they always take their sweet time. Luckily, it's not your ballot that got jammed. It was the one before you. We have an auxiliary ballot collection box over here.
Cosmo takes the orange seal and leads the voter into the election supply clearing.
Now I'm going to put this seal on here.
Cosmo seals a small ballot collection box that normally serves as a shelf on the VTC.
And you can slip your ballot in right here.
Really? Just like that?
Just like that. And then, after all the voting's completed, we'll have both a Republican judge and a Democrat judge pair up to submit those ballots in the scanner. And voila!
But I'm a bit libertarian.
Thank you for voting.
Cosmo hands voter under my voting sticker. The voter leaves. Cameron is still on the phone. May has been sorting through the handbook. They find instructions and have the security key to the ballot scanner. Cosmo reads the handbook again.
They're saying they can't send anyone out until after 5 p.m. I don't know if we'll be able to fix this before the end of the night.
Do you know where the security key is?
I have it right here.
Yes, sure. I'll hold on.
Technician walks in.
Okay, so then we just,
Cosmo places the digital security key on his port. The scanner beeps to life and Cameron presses a few buttons on the screen with the stylus. Success. You do?
Hi, how's everything going?
You got here fast.
Louis!
I'm just making my rounds.
And who are you?
I'm Louis. I'm a technician from Election Central.
How do we know you're not just impersonating a technician from Election Central?
I have a badge.
I saw the badge.
Technician shows
Do
the
you-
badge and credentials.
Do you need help with something?
Our ballot scanner broke. We had to use the ESC to collect the last dozen ballots.
Cosmo fixed the scanner.
Did he really?
I'm a witness, firsthand. Would I lie about that?
That's my man, Cosmo!
It was very straightforward in the handbook. Pictures and everything, manual style.
Sounds like you don't even need me.
The guys couldn't figure it out how to get the touchscreen printer to work this morning, and we're running low on I voted stickers.
I can't do much about the sticker problem, but I can look at this printer for y'all.
That would be great. Thank you.
I'd love to see how it works. Cosmo?
Happy to help.
Over here?
The technician, followed by Cameron and Cosmo, walk over to the touchscreen printer in one of the two accessible polling booths. Ada, May, and Luce remain at their respective stations.
Okay, let me have a look. Do you have a key and passcode?
Hey, better.
Okay, fantastic. It looks like you're out of ink. I got some in my bag.
You're a real lifesaver, my friend.
How are things going over here?
Oh, it's been slow.
Well, for all the
Cameron over
attention
here,
they pay,
that busy man is
it
working,
wasn't.
trying to
Okay, I've got a
get him
question
to
for
come in and leave us. He says
So
no
all
big
my
deal.
life, my
What
mom
do you
has
do,
always been
Cameron?
a bit of a health nut, you know, like
We do a
avocado
lot of
and
pro bono
coconut
work.
oil
We have a
instead of
case that's about to
canola,
make
organic
a lot of people's
everything.
livelihoods.
And
What's
she
it
gets
about?
this Himalayan
A pharmacist
pink
refused to
real
transfer
stuff.
prescription
And
for
I
birth
have
control,
this memory in the
freedom
back of my
signed off by a
course, and
doctor,
guess
but
fucking
you
what?
know how they are.
People need iodine.
How are they?
Yes, you do need
Bouts of
iodine.
highly
What the
effective
fuck
and
is
natural
iodine?
fertility awareness
And why
strategies to
doesn't
avoid
this real
pregnancy.
salt or
My
any
wife
of
and
the
I are
other
always
fancy
tracking
salt
her ovulation
brands
cycles, and
have
we believe in
iodine
it.
in
If you believe in it,
What
use a
am I missing that my
condom or
mom
any
didn't
kind of
tell me?
pharmaceutical to
Iodine.
reduce the chances of conception.
So I asked
But
her,
this
try
specific
this
drug
salt, and
demonstrates
guess
an
what she
intolerable
says?
and blatant disregard for human life.
Nope.
Are you talking
No.
about something like
Not
Clam
one
Bee?
It's a
mention
similar
of
concept, but
iodine.
this is
She
one of
just
those
thinks it
daily
tastes
pills, and
better.
we should be fighting
I
to
don't
take
know
this
how the
drug
hell
off
to
the
buy
shelves
salt now.
completely. It is
Can you
reckless
even buy
medical
sea salt
endangerment.
with iodine?
But we're not.
What is iodine?
What do
And now
you
that I'm
mean
home
by
for the summer, how do I
red
tell my
medical
mom we're
endangerment?
probably very
Of the
extremely
child, of
iodine?
course, but we're only
deficient?
going for the personal
I
freedom to
don't-
choose, defending an individual pharmacist's right to stand up for the safety of his patients and for his most basic innate religious freedom.
What if the patient's religion forbade her from getting pregnant?
I think that patient should be tried for forcing her religion onto the pharmacist. Cameron can correct me if I'm wrong.
That's ridiculous, Lewis.
At the end of the day, it's about the pharmaceutical safety. People can always choose to be abstinent. This is the only beginning of a lifelong battle.
You both are really blowing my mind.
All right, all fixed and ready for the voters.
Hey, why not have a special Christian pharmacy working with the church? You can have all patients and employees who all don't believe in birth control together, instead of marketing medical services to a mass market, like they do with vegan stuff.
Not wanting to kill babies is very different than not wanting to kill cows.
Whoa.
Huh.
But that has to be different, doesn't it? Day-old embryos and fetuses can't be the same as human babies.
Tomato, tomato.
That's an interesting point, Cosmo, about the cows.
Why not just give folks the pill, the things that prevents the bigger sin, as you call it, in the first place?
You're legislating to save children, not to prevent sin.
Well, I really don't understand the big deal with legislating this body controlling stuff. It's not really any of our business. What about the kids and young people who want to take the pill for their own safety?
Alderman walks in.
Saved by the bell.
What bell?
Someone looking handsome and dapper.
Mind your own business.
Alderman Joe, what brings you by?
Who's the election coordinator here?
That would be Cameron.
Can we talk out in the hall?
Yeah, what's going on? Sure thing, but Lewis is just finishing up with the printer. I'll be right out.
Is everything okay, Joe?
Let's talk out in the hall.
Sounds like you and I are gonna have to go vegan, Cosmo.
I wouldn't think too hard about that cow thing. Thank you for all your help, Lewis.
My pleasure.
Is everything all right?
Come with me. We need to talk.
Out in the hall, Alderman Cameron and Cosmo stand together.
I thought you were busy today.
More pressing matters have come up.
Do you mind if I join?
Doesn't look like we have much of a choice.
Are we in trouble?
No, not you. The Chicago Board of Elections.
Was there fraud?
No. Well, not intentionally. The lines have been ringing off the hook. How is your ballot scanning going?
This scanner was down for a few minutes, but we got it up and running.
Well, my office and some others from the 21st, 48th, and 39th are pulling together an opinion piece on this, they're calling it Sharpie Gate.
Is this about the text?
Oh no, you mean the bleed-through problem?
How has it been for this precinct?
It was a little messy in the beginning, but we figured it out.
Could you give me a quote for the press?
I think
No comment.
it was...
Ever the dedicated lawyer, Cameron. For context, there's talks of recounts, so this could be serious.
Off the record, we figured it out early on. The voters only had to separate the two pages. Even when they didn't, the scanner picked up all the errors.
Off the record, Cameron was on the phone with his work buddies for most of it.
Well, I'm glad you worked your way through the crisis.
That's one way to say it.
I can't say the same for the other precincts. I'll let you get back to it. But please, let me know if anything changes. Or if you decide to go on the record.
Ada May, Lewis, are in room one.
Oh my God. Oh my God, what the fucking hell?
Good for Cosmo.
I told you.
You did not tell me that. I feel so gross. So gross. Medical endangerment of who? What about the mother? What about the actual
I
living?
know. He's projecting, you know?
Projecting into law?
I think your mom might need more than just some iodine.
Your dad seriously talks like that, and you haven't said anything.
What can I say?
Hey Dad, stop being a sexist piece of shit.
You've had a giant change of heart.
Cameron's had a giant change of personality.
He's not a sexist piece of he's just,
An overbearing patriarch.
Deeply problematic.
no. Neither of you get to come for my parents like that.
It sounds like he's coming for us. Sorry, maybe not Ada.
No, maybe definitely Ada.
I don't know where to begin.
What are you afraid of?
I told you that I didn't want to get into it.
Yeah, sometimes it's okay to disagree with your loved ones.
I don't agree to disagree. I don't agree to anything.
Your silence sounds like agreement to me.
I can't afford to lose my parents. Literally, I can barely afford to be as is.
Is that all your relationship chalks up to?
Most of our generations is starting off with nothing. It might do you good to lose some privilege. Go, lose a little.
Maybe speaking your mind doesn't have to be a law. What do you stand to gain?
Says the woman who can barely tell a lonely old man how much she loves him.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Or should we tell May what you told me about your sister?
I need fresh air.
Alderman sits outside, admiring the sunset. Ada exits the building. She takes a couple of deep breaths. She looks around to check her surroundings. She sees the alderman.
Joseph!
Ada, I was hoping to run into you.
How was your night? The election? Do you have time to sit outside like this?
Oh, it's 6:32 p.m. It's all beyond my control now.
What did the polls say?
Oh, no. I meant the Sharpie thing. This shit, excuse my French, is making my head explode.
I might be able to help soothe the pain.
What do you mean?
I mean that it all went smoothly over here, the Sharpie part at least.
Cosmo said you figured it out early on.
Yeah, we had maybe 5 or 6 ballots that had to be redone tops.
You are very, very impressive woman, Ada.
It was a team effort, mostly. How well do you know Cameron?
Oh, we go to the same church. Why?
He seems to have some strong opinions about other people's bodies. Has he talked to you about that?
Oh, I can't believe he brought up the case. That man has no sense.
So you know, but you don't agree with him, or do you?
Well, my wife wouldn't, well, she's no longer with us now, of course, but Carla would have died 24 years ago if not for an abortion. And I know Carla made it to heaven. This birth control stuff especially, that's bullshit. And if you'll, again, excuse my French, I cannot think of a more dangerous threat to life than to take away that option.
You never talked about this in any of your campaign speeches.
You listen to my campaign speeches?
I listen to every word you say.
Well, the church has big sway on the voters. I would never want to alienate them.
There's plenty of Christian men and women for reproductive rights. You can't forget about us. You're bound to retire soon anyway, after this term.
I beg your pardon?
I know you got a good retirement set up. Colin was always a whiz with finances, even if you weren't. What do you have to lose?
It's so awful to spend time at home since she died. I don't know what to do without that special person in my life. But I probably should have stepped down a couple years ago.
So this would be a risk you can take?
Oh, I'll address it if they let me speak later.
Do you ever think you might find a new special person?
Do you have someone in mind?
We've been friends for the last 15 years. Nobody knows how much of a catch you are than me. I don't think I've ever had a friend whose mere presence in a room makes my heart glow like yours does. I don't want to cross any lines. I love Carla too.
I would have wanted her to find someone if I had died first, and I know she would have wanted that for me too.
She trusted me, and
Ada, will you let me kiss you?
let you. Joe, yes, please.
You make my heart light up too, Ada.
Ada kisses the alderman again. May steps outside while they're kissing. They don't notice till...
Ladies and gentlemen, gentle themes, gentle folks, the polls are closing in 1 minute. That's 1 minute. If you're still in line, you can stay in line. You will get to...
No one is in line.
Ah, fuck it.
You're doing great, May.
No one's in line. Do you think we can close
As a Chicago City Council official, I must stand by the law. You have to wait to close at 7, and only then if there aren't any more voters in line.
No need to tease her.
It's the law.
Polls are closing. 1 minute.
And now,
Polls are
7
closed.
o'clock.
All right, repeating, polls are closed. Thank you, and good night, Chicago.
I got the cone. Can you take the signs, and I'll be right in behind you.
May collects a couple of signs taped up outside. They go back inside and take down a few more signs in the hallway. Alderman and Ada take each other's hands. She kisses his hands. He kisses her forehead.
You'll call me?
I'll think about it.
Joseph!
Ada, can I take you on a date?
I don't know. You'll have to call me first.
You know I will.
A hand squeeze and a wink. Ada exits and meets May in the hallway. May and Ada re-enter the gymnasium together. Ada goes to stare all forms and envelopes together by the end of the night. May joins Cosmo at the ballot scanner. Cosmo is working the ballot scanner. Cameron is taking down the polling booth, and Luce is taking down various signs taped up around the room. Luce approaches Cameron.
Can I talk to you?
Do you help me with these polling booths?
Need a hand over here?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, could you
I
help me
thought you
find the
didn't
seal
want
accountability
anything to do with
form?
me.
We need
Why
to
did you
enter
tell
those
everyone about
auxiliary
these?
ballots together,
heard that.
and then
Of
we'll
course
transmit
I
the
heard
results.
that.
I got it.
Everyone heard that.
I need to head out after I clear up this ADA booth. Do you want me to make anything for you when you get home?
What the hell, Dad?
Luce starts taking apart the poll booths.
I'm an election coordinator, not a judge. I don't need to sign all the envelopes like you and the others do. I'm only here to pack up the access equipment.
Why do you always do this?
Do my part.
You help where and when it's convenient. You schedule father-daughter bonding on your own terms, and you always duck out before anything gets too real.
You hide in your room all day. How am I supposed to get real with you?
You're supposed to be the parent. If I let you into my life, I give you the ability to judge it, to judge me.
I'm your father. I'm not going to judge you, but I will tell you the truth.
I don't know what to say to you. You've been different ever since this case of yours started 5 years ago, and I've grown in an opposite direction too. But now, with school, with leaving home, there's no way I can go back. I feel like, I know, I left you behind, but you and Mom also made a choice. What happens when you don't like the person I'm becoming? When you can no longer see me as your daughter? Or at least not the daughter you thought I was? What do I do when you look at me the way that you look at those women in your trial? Like I'm a stain upon this earth? And if you decide to go against all odds to accept me, what then? Who's to say that love won't be tainted? Sometimes I imagine that we could go back to before and freeze ourselves in time. The perfect father and daughter pair. We could still spend time together, but with no new memories, no recent recollections of the world. What if we let one precious moment on vacation with you, me, and Mom flood our minds and become our eternity? If you care about the safety of anyone's baby, you've got to start with yours. The one you already birthed and raised and fed and gave life to. Not the plaintiffs or some strangers. Not some less than two-day gestated, barely conceived barely fetus. And yeah, University of Chicago is really fucking great, and you were absolutely right, and that's a large part of how we got into this mess. The better the college, the better the learning. I'm sorry I'm such a mess, and I have so many feelings and thoughts, and I refuse to be anything like your mom. I'm sorry I'm so fucked up. I'm sorry I can't fit into that perfect little box you made up for me. So fine, you did your job. The election was fair, and you and you were part of that. And now you know how fucking hard that would be to mess up. Almost everything went wrong that could have gone wrong, and at the end of the day, it's all okay, and everyone was supposed to go vote and do that and have their voice heard. We biked to the polls and spent the day together, but now you've had your fun. You can leave.
If I'm being honest, I'm scared too.
No shit.
You know I love you.
But do you love all of me? Can you? This whole no politics rule won't get us very far. Especially not if you're gonna sit and gab with your bros like that.
Gab with my bros?
Girl, you know what I mean. I'd rather know how you really feel than spend the rest of the summer, the rest of my life, hiding my true self.
No importa qué. Go de ti. I will always lose.
I don't believe you.
It's how different we see the world now.
Terrifying?
Intimidating.
Intimidating?
Are you going to do a ticket?
Luz looks at the 6 remaining voting booths.
How the fuck are there so many of these?
Let's do something this weekend, huh? Camping. The UP?
Sure.
Your bike safe?
You bike safe. You need to wear your helmet this time.
I wear my helmet.
Buckled?
I'm the one who taught you how to wear your helmet. I love you, kiddo.
You too, Dad. Great. So he's gone. Do we know who won the bet?
We have 269. I was way off.
I guess 265. May, how much did you say? Ada?
275.
250.
Bless the donut gods. Where's the box?
I forgot we were doing that.
You finished then?
It was a long day. But as the runner-up, I could buy you some more. Maybe on Saturday?
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. What's your phone number?
May extends their hand. Luz doesn't know what to do. Maybe it's a high five or a gesture to hold hands.
Give me your phone.
Oh.
Luz pulls out the phone, finds the add contact button, and hands it to May. May enters their name and number, returns the phone.
I meant to ask, were you named after someone?
My mom's birthday month.
That's so cool.
Thanks. They still write each other. The OG May and my mom. This is super cute.
That is. I should have probably.
Yes. Go do you, girl.
I might not be that.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
It's fine. I don't even really know. I just something about it feels weird.
You do you then. And you can tell me more this weekend.
Can we do this Saturday after this one actually? I'm going camping.
Bet. You got a date?
Ada presents an ungodly number of envelopes to Luz and the others.
Quick, before you go, we have to sign all these.
May and Kazi will present the group with 9 absurdly long
And don't forget the results tape.
And then packing everything up again.
I'll call Alderman Joseph to bring us more donuts.
End of play.